using sperm.
Hello, good people of the internet. I am deep behind enemy lines, and I'm reading an Anita Sarkeesian article that she just wrote, which is her reflections on what happened at VidCon, which is known as GarbageGate, Sargon of Garbage. In case you missed it, basically she was on a panel, just yet another panel about the victimhood of women, a panel discussing the idea that women get harassed online. And what does she do with her platform? She harasses a guy. You become the thing you hate. It's what we see with the anti-racist people. It's what we see with the anti-fa people. And by fa, I mean fascist. Quite frankly, it's what we see with the punch a Nazi thing. I mean, you get a guy like Stevie Shives, and he's talking about, oh, he's anti-Nazi. He even went so far as to buy a pin, an anti-Nazi pin. And the only joy that gives me is that to order that from Amazon, he had to type in Nazi. So I'm hoping Google has flagged him as a Nazi merchandise aficionado. But he's against Nazis. Why? Because Nazis were violent. So what is his solution? Be violent. Yeah, if you have bad ideas, then I am allowed to punch you. I have labeled you, sir. The conversation is over. In fact, I don't like any of your ideas. All of you people. I think it's time for a YouTube channel burning. This is happening now. It's a digital book burning, yeah. So it is fascinating to see the triggering that took place. And Carl was there with his dorky Free Kekistan nerds. I mean, it was looking like some sort of brony convention, but not just the brony convention, the Magic the Gathering subset of the brony convention. And they're throwing up Nazi salutes, ironically, and they're doing the white supremacy symbols just to trigger everybody. I mean, they were trying to be edgelords, but it just doesn't work when we get to see you. because a picture says 1,000 words. Anyway, speaking of which, Anita wrote a bunch of words, and she's tripling down. She called Sargon a garbage human. Not human garbage, which would be different, a garbage human. A lot of people mistake what Aid Skrillex said about white people when he says, you're fucking a white male. He didn't say, you're a fucking white male. He said, you're fucking a white male. You're fucking a white male. And Anita said, you're a garbage human, not human garbage. Very interesting. Words which will live in infamy. Let's read. Quiet in the room, please. Anita is about to speak. To kick off the Women Online panel at VidCon last Thursday, the moderator posed the question, why do we still have to talk about the harassment of women? Yes, haven't we advanced to the harassment of men, as Anita was about to show us? I replied, quote, she quotes herself, amazing. Who does that? Because I think one of my biggest harassers is sitting in the front row. Now, biggest, Carl Snorgon of Garbage, Snorgon of Akkad, has lost weight. Okay, let's give him his due. Yes, he does look like a garden gnome. Yes, he's just some random gamer nerd who worked in an office and he was on his first trip to America ever. It's neither here nor there, but he's not the biggest harasser. Surely TJ's bigger. He showed up with several others together. I mean, what was it, a mob? He had friends. What? They coordinated. Holy shit. His group took up the 2 front rows at the panel, and Carl took up 2 chairs with his fat ass. Their presence was plainly not, as one of them later said in a, quote, apology video he posted to Twitter, to give us the chance we never gave them and to hear us out. Yeah, they were rabble-rousers. They were heckling. Nope, they actually were just there to listen. And, of course, to see if there was just some seething stupidity that they could make videos about, and there was. But it was instead to intimidate me and put me on edge. Well, that seems like you're blaming them for your internal weirdness and failings. If you're intimidated by the human personification of a garden gnome, then that's something you need to talk to your therapist about that. It's not them, that's you. Put you on edge. Oh, please. You get put on edge trying to look at Batman's ass through his cape. They will no doubt plead innocent and act shocked at what... Could you not honk? At what they characterize as the outrageousness of such allegations. This, too, is part of their strategy. Gaslighting. Acting in a way intended to encourage me and their other targets to doubt ourselves and to wonder if all of this is just in our heads. But to anyone who examines their patterns of behavior with clear eyes, the intentions of their actions are undeniably apparent. Yeah, the action in question is they exist. So they go to VidCon, which is not Anita Con. I prefer Shaka Con. They go there because they have fan followings and they want to promote themselves and meet each other and, circle jerk and all that. But of course, in Anita's world, they're there just for her. Like, exclusively, they went there for her. Not the case, but she's an unbelievable narcissist. And also, I will state now, of no use to anyone at any point. She brings nothing to the table. And her ideas are comically insufficient for the thinking adult. And here's a picture. Look at this. Oh my God. These guys are troublemakers for show. Carl is a man. Okay, already. Guilty. Hit the gavel. Carl is, well, don't misgender him. Do we know he's a man? Yes, it looks like his hormones are working well with the beard, but don't let the beard fool you. Carl is a man who literally profits from harassing me and other women. He makes over $5,000 a month on Patreon for creating YouTube videos that mock, insult, and discredit myself and other women online. And he's not alone. Okay, I got major problems with that. First of all, the $5,000 a month thing. If you think that's all he's making, you are sadly mistaken. He's making way more than that. Okay? With PayPal, with AdSense, with merchandise, yeah. With Super Chat, he's got multiple YouTube channels. Okay, so you're wrong there. But wait a minute. He mocks, insults, and discredits you? Well, wait a minute. What you say is incredible. It deserves to be discredited. It is what they call in Britain bollocks or shite. So don't blame us. Once again, she blames the outside world for one of her personal failings. It's an amazing pattern. Watch it. Now, here's where I take offense. He mocks, insults, and discredits myself and other women online? Wait a minute. Did you just marginalize me? Wait. Sargon of Garbage has mocked and insulted me in multiple videos. And I'm not a woman. So what am I, invisible? I don't count? He has called me bald. This is a social commentator, and he is observant. And he referred to me, one time he sent me just a picture of an egg. Just an egg, and he let me do the math. And it hurt. That ruined that day of my life. My girlfriend was like, what's wrong? And I was like, nothing. She's like, Devin, come on, just tell me. I'm like, don't worry about it, don't worry. But what it was Carl had sent me a picture of an egg, and there was a bunch of likes on it, a few retweets. I mean, that shit is harmful. It's very harmful. Does Carl appreciate the fact that I walk around looking like a freak of nature? Like I'm Quasimodo without the hump and the day job? I look like a Make-A-Wish Foundation kid who just grew up. But clearly nobody ever fulfilled my wish because I'm still bald. Bald as an egg. But apparently Anita is not concerned about how he mocks and insults men online. Interesting. Oh, she perceives the world through her lens. She's a classic regressive. She embodies all of it. It's not just the feminism. She's racist as fuck and hates white people. I mean, hate is a strong term. She has bigotry towards, disdain, envy. She's a straight up bitch. Dumb bitch, sorry. He is one of several YouTubers who profit from the cottage industry of online harassment and anti-feminism. Okay, wait a minute. First of all, what you're doing is a cottage industry of feminism online, and just let's tie it to video games. Sure, that makes sense. What? Women are being oppressed in fill in the blank. Anything. Just whatever women do, they're an oppressed class. It's like Mad Libs. Just the actual topic doesn't matter. Now, when you rattle the hornet's nest of the gamer dorks, they're not going to be happy. They're not happy if you just insult them in general and be like, haha, you play too many games online. Haha, you don't have a social life. Haha, your sex life is a joke. Haha, you're fat and are going to die prematurely. Okay, that kind of stuff they can take. But when you bring up the women part, that really gets to them. They aren't that cool with that. So you're really punching below the belt. You're donkey punching them right in their micro peens. Or peni. What is a group? What is that, a gaggle of peni? Together, these people have millions of followers who are regularly encouraged by the videos and tweets of these individuals to harass me. What? Again, her definition of harassment is so loose and broad. Speaking of which, do you know who's loose and are referred to as broads? Women. Not all. Yeah, harass means nothing. I mean, you might as well just swap that out with a grunt. because at this point she has just butchered that word into oblivion. Harass me and other women who make videos daring to assert the basic humanity of women. People of color, oh, here we go. It's not just women. People of color, trans folks, what? And members of other marginalized groups. Really? Including the marginalized group of bald YouTuber who Karl mocks? I don't even make that list. You have the trannies and the coloreds and the friggin' bitches before me? Ridiculous. And do you think that this coven of Kekistani losers would disagree with the notion of basic humanity for women? You think they're against that? You don't think that their criticism of you / harassment is based on the fact that you take the shit too far and your arguments are bullocks shite? I'm not sure if I'm using that right. Because of the constant flood of threats and harassment I've received over the past 5 years simply for being a woman who argues for the basic humanity of women. Oh, God, Jesus. You've really steel-manned. Is that the phrase? The opposite of straw man? Steel man? Iron man? Okay, I'll go with steel man. You really steel-manned their argument with that one. I mean, Sargon and all these anti-feminists, all they do is get up there and go, we are against the basic humanity of women. You nailed it. I mean, that is just in a nutshell what they're saying. Who argues for the basic humanity of women in a deeply misogynistic culture. Well, again, a point of order. It is not a deeply misogynistic culture. You are clinically insane, Anita. You are hyper-obsessed with your identity, and you're trying to leverage it to make yourself feel special and to have a purpose in your pathetic life. For anybody outside of your grotesque bubble, it's literally a joke. You are a lol cow, a lol heifer. I went for a very long time rarely participating in public conversations. Yes, because you knew that people who are smarter than you were going to tell you that you're wrong for a variety of reasons and in very colorful ways. Being a target of cyber mob harassment, how many times is she going to say harassment in this, is a traumatizing experience. Though harassers, here it is again, seek to deny this, one tactic of theirs is to dismiss this very idea. Aha! The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing us that he wasn't harassing Anita Sarkeesian. To say that everyone online is treated the same. Everyone gets called names sometimes. In fact, there is simply no comparison between being occasionally mocked or insulted online as a male anti-feminist who occupies a position of power in an overwhelmingly sexist patriarchal culture and being a woman who receives a never-ending BitTorrent of abuse while fighting tooth and nail to create an online culture that is a little less misogynistic and a little more equitable. You know why women like you and the entire movement of third world feminism, as if they have real problems to deal with, third wave feminism. The problem with you guys is in that sentence. When somebody pushes back against you, insults you, challenges every single thing you said, basically take a digital shit on the essence of you, that isn't about you being a woman. That's called the internet. And as a content creator, I'm here to tell you, I have never categorized it as harassment, but under your definition, clearly I get harassed every day of my life. I could go onto videos, I could go into my comment section and just see the most toxic, venomous, hateful, just profoundly angry messages aimed directly at me. It is a never-ending faucet of bile that these random people just spit at me. Now, never once have I said, it's because I'm a man. Never once. That is the difference. Men are willing to stand on the merits of their content, their ideas, who they are. And they do not hide behind this bogus shield of their identity. So if I make a video and people attack me and say, Devin, you're a fucking piece of dog shit, I'm not going to say, well, there you go. More harassment of the bald guy. And then I'm not going to go on a panel of like bald content creating men who get harassed. It's just not going to happen. Now, the second you can step up and play with those ground rules, then you can be one of us. And you can put behind these silly games that you're playing. However, despite the torrent of harassment, again, I recently made a conscious decision to participate more regularly in panels and conversations at public events. Because I wanted to engage with people who show up in good faith to listen and believe. No, to listen to our ideas and then believe them. And then kiss my asshole. My puckered Armenian butthole. But let me make something very clear. When you have a history of harassing, someone for years, and you show up in the front row at their panel, oh, it's your panel? I believe there were other women there. I believe the point of the panel was for the audience. The whole thing is a community. So content creators come. It's not your show, Anita. It's not AnitaCon. Show up in the front row at their panel with a camera and an entourage. Right, Anita just goes solo. She doesn't have friends and family that come with her to these things. No. That is not an act of good faith. We're all atheists, so fuck faith. To put it mildly. No, to put it retardedly. That is itself an act of harassment. Bing! Hold on, let me drink. Oh, God. Oh, yeah. And intimidation. No, you're intimidated. If the presence of Karl of Borkad intimidates you, you are a sissy wimp. You must not... This man climbs rock walls. Slowly. Like a tortoise. Okay? This is not somebody to be intimidated by. He and his companions... I like how he's the ringleader all of a sudden. It's such a fucking high school game. Sargon has a large number next to his sub count, so he's the leader of the pack. Who fucking cares? Okay. He and his companions were doing this, not just to me, but to other women as well. Yeah, you got your blinders on. The man has been harassing me for years. Women like Kat Black. Oh, fuck her. And Francesca Ramsey. It's like the Hall of Shame. So that we are all aware at VidCom that this man who has harassed, us, and whose hundreds of thousands of followers have attacked us online for years is here, watching us, putting his man gaze on them. Shouldn't he have been a welcome guest? This is a guy who never got off the goddamn island that he was born on until now. And this is how you welcome him to Southern California? By being like, get your goddamn eyeballs off me, you rotund prat? How dare you? It's a deliberate act to create an environment that feels hostile. Yeah, so this is like somebody penetrated my bubble. And it's kind of rape. It's bubble rape. I want to be surrounded by ass kissers exclusively. And not men, right? Like, definitely not men who disagree with me. What? No, that's hostile. Well, Anita, life is hostile, so sorry. You wanted to have all the fame and the money and the reputation of being a known commodity in the public sphere. Well, guess what? This is the other part of that. You got to deal with garden gnomes showing up to your events and sitting quietly watching you talk. Yeah, real intimidating. To communicate to us that if and when we dare show up in public to express the ideas that we express online, the harassment drink will follow us into the physical world as well. Huh? So how does she react to this? She preemptively harasses Karl. She has like the Bush doctrine for harassment. She's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure Iraq is about to harass, Israel or its neighbors. Who knows? Let's bomb them. Let's just go in. I mean, Anita just performed a shock and awe campaign of harassment on Karl. Now, and I like how she's extrapolating that wherever we go, these guys are going to follow us. Nope, it's one conference. Happens once a year. And it's for everybody, not just you, Anita. So they were there for every other reason except for you. Now, he and his followers are acting as if me publicly calling him a garbage human. What was that?
A garbage human.
What did you fucking say?
A garbage human.
Yeah, I'm fucking better than you, okay? Much better than you. You are garbage.
A garbage human. A garbage human.
Cunty.
A garbage human.
Nigger.
And a shithead. You did call him a shithead, right? Is the equivalent to what he has done to me. In truth, he and his followers cannot begin to imagine what it is to have to constantly beg for and fight for your, here it is again, basic humanity. What? What basic humanity? Could you explain what that is? I know that might be enough for your ass-kissing audience to be like, yeah, women need basic humanity. What are you talking about? Do you need a tampon, young lady? Yeah, sometimes in the olden days, they would split an orange in half and shove that up there, so maybe that will help? Right, so fight for your basic humanity in a culture that fundamentally refuses to acknowledge it. Yeah. What are you talking about, Anita? I literally have no idea. I don't recognize you as being human. I don't recognize your basic humanity. I fundamentally refuse to acknowledge it. He cannot imagine what it is to spend years and years being the target of floods of... it's at this point you might want to look into a thesaurus. Harassment and hate. And then to still go out there and keep fighting. Fight the good fight. You are Joan of Arc, okay? You are Joan of Arc. The companion of his, who made that apology video I referenced earlier, also tweeted that women are powerful enough to deal with things like workplace harassment to rape. Oh, rape has got a mention. Wow. Ooh. And harassment has, its 100th citing? Great. As if power is in accepting a culture in which women are second-class citizens? Oh my God. Is this not a joke? Is she not joking? That's what's amazing. This is like Poe's law for me. She really considers women second-class citizens. Fighting for basic humanity. What? In which misogyny and workplace harassment and rape are the norm. Rape is the norm? Where are we, in the Congo? What the fuck happened now? What are you talking about? Anita, rape is outlawed and everybody's against it. But yeah, stoke up that friggin' victimhood. Fuck that. Ooh. Sounds like another Armenian I know of. I'll never settle for that. You're damn right I'm powerful. Look at her. She was drunk. This was late. She wrote this real late. After everything I've been put through by Carl and other men just like him, I'm still powerful enough to go out there and try to change it. God, change your diaper while you're at it. What a frigging shambolic pap smear of an article that was. Fucking Christ, Anita. It is no wonder that people rally behind the cause of being against people like her. Like, usually as atheists and other groups, it kind of gets frustrating being an anti-group. Like, we're just anti those people. But in this case, I recognize that there's validity to it. There's a good reason to do this. These people are beyond ridiculous and are wasting the time of everyone unfortunate enough to have to listen to this. This is a negative influence on our society and on young people. Hashtag Team Carl, and good Lord, that's one small step for a garden gnome, one giant hissy fit from an Armenian bitch,